Hi, guys, it's Phil Hendrie. By now, I'm sure you have received, if you signed up for it, the new Phil Hendrie Show newsletter. Yes, it is just chock full of thoughts, of feelings, of impressions, and a look at the road forward here over the course of the next few months and perhaps years of the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show. What have we got in mind? What are the things we want to do? Whither goest us in the American night, to paraphrase Allen Ginsberg? But I don't want to get too heavy. I don't want to get too literate. I don't want to get too anything, to be honest with you. It's getting late. Anyway, what I'd like you to do is look for that newsletter if you signed up for it. If you didn't, go to our homepage, go to our website, philhendrieshow.com. I believe the sign-up is there on the homepage, Margaret.
Yes, I believe there is a sign-up spot there.
Yeah, it's good.
I got it, Bud. Yes, I believe there is, Phil.
Yeah, right here. Thank you, Bud. So check it out at philhendrieshow.com. That's philhendrieshow.com.
Hey, this is NFL Hall of Famer Ray Lewis. I'm excited to announce the launch of my new podcast, Everyday Greatness, the Ray Lewis Podcast. I'll be talking with friends, family members, old teammates, athletes, celebrities, moguls, and guess what? I'll be talking to you. Listen, this is all in the search for everyday greatness. So I'm asking you to come along with me on this ride. Download new episodes of Everyday Greatness, the Ray Lewis Podcast, every Friday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on PodcastOne.com. It's not what you have, it's what's inside of you that actually inspires greatness.
Hey guys, it's Phil Hendrie, and welcome to today's Encore. Now, I know today's a Friday. We usually don't do Encore shows on this very day of Friday, but it is, it's getting toward the end of, not really toward the end of summer. It's getting to the final months of summer, the final month of summer, and there's a lot of business that's stacking up, so we needed to get to some stuff today, especially tonight. Therefore, I also have to announce there is no chat for this evening. There will be a Saturday Cinema tomorrow. It may be a repeat, it may not. I'm sure you understand. I apologize. All will be made clear in the forthcoming days. Nonetheless, we do have what I think is an outstanding encore show for you today. This is one from actually 1 year ago today. It is Bobbie and Steve Dooley. And on this particular show, and by the way, you will note there is no video of today's show from last year. We will have a video featuring slides of me looking stupid, but what can I tell you? Anyway, there is no actual video of the show being performed. That's because 1 year ago today, I disallowed Bobbie and Steve's video of a re-commentary on the Wild Women of Wongo. Those of you who remember the Wild Women of Wongo, you may remember the Wild Women of Wongo, and you may be sorry that you do remember the Wild Women of Wongo. I'm sure you understand what I mean by that. You don't? That's okay. So let's check it out. From 1 year ago today, it's Bobbie and Steve Dooley, and they're doing a version of Bobbie's podcast, which was the Bobbie Dooley. It was actually the Bobbie and Steve Dooley podcast, starring the Bobbie Dooley. I don't know what it's called. But let's check it out. From 1 year ago, that would be August the 14th of 2019, Bobbie and Steve Dooley, and the Bobbie and Steve, here it is.
And now, Bobbie and Steve Dooley with the Dooleys and the Bobbie Dooley Show. Thank you very much, Margaret. And it's Bobbie Dooley, huh? I'm very sorry.
I guess we ought to be lucky, Rennie. You didn't have your mouth full of zucchini.
It's called... Wow. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll see you later. Steve, honey, it's called zucchini. It's not zucchino.
Oh, I thought zucchini. I don't know why I said that, but...
It has a slight... When you say zucchino, there's a slight resonance of filth. I don't know. For some reason, I think of a urination or something, but...
Yeah, I totally understand.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show. The Bobbie Dooley Show. A lot of people think that's redundant, but I think it just further reinforces the fact that it's the Bobbie Dooley Show, but also Bob Dooley. Steve Dooley's here.
My name is Steve Dooley. My wife is Bob Dooley. It's Bobbie Dooley.
I love this song. Let's listen, shall we? This is Holiday for Strings, and it's being done by the Voices of Walu or Wahuulu.
It's Hawaiian?
I think so. It's the Voices of Walter Schumann. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's not Hawaiian.
No, that wouldn't be Hawaiian. All right, Steve. So you heard it before we were able to announce it, but we knew fully in advance that General Shaw was walking off of the Saturday cinema and would no longer be on the show. I believe that we're allotted, or should be allotted, some equal time so as for to talk to you about why we essentially will be hosting Saturday Cinema again this weekend, but I know Mr. Hendrie hasn't made a final determination on that.
Yeah, Mr. Hendrie had told us that we can go ahead and we'll host another Saturday Cinema this weekend. Also, we want to make sure that the Lady of Wongo...
Oh, these are the Wild Women.
Yeah, the Wild Women of Wongo. We want to make sure the Wild Women... Sorry, the Wild Wubby...
The Wild Whoop.
The Wild Rubber...
The Wild Women, Steve.
Oh, the Wild Women of Steve. Can I help out?
Chris Norton was going to be... No, you can't help out.
Sorry. The Wild Women of Wongo, we're going to do a new voice track too.
That's going to come up after the podcast today, so it's not to interfere with the podcast that we're going to do right now. And certainly, while I think it's worthy to include it in the podcast, it's going to be a different podcast. Also joining us on the program today is Chris Norton, who's a filmmaker. And Chris, I know that you do a lot of adult films, but as a filmmaker, you know the troubles and the tribulations, you know?
Yeah, it's,
It's pretty hard to keep it all together.
it is pretty hard to keep it together. I do adult films, and that makes it doubly hard because as an adult filmmaker, the temptation is not just to make the film, but to leap into the action,
Do you have to be an actor when you do that?
Yes, do you have to be in the cast?
Well, not if you're the executive producer. If you're the executive producer, and which is what I am on all my adult films, and I see the action getting pretty hot, I'll start to take my underwear off and just say, look, somebody else catch this scene for me, and I'll hand the megaphone over to Bill Biffcock or Tad Dunkings. And
who are those guys?
those are like they're assistant directors.
So you hand the megaphone. I didn't know do they use megaphones?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen movie directors, they have a megaphone. They go, yeah, hey, take two, or, shut up or something like that.
Yeah, those are old-timey movies.
Well,
Aren't those? Yeah, wasn't that in the olden days?
I mean, it might have been some of it in the olden days. I'm not sure, but as far as I know,
So anyway, we interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're a adult film producer like I am, and you're watching, and I've directed some very hot. I've told you about Climb Rest Mountain.
Yes, I heard Climb Rest Mountain, and the other one Took a Walk again last night in your backyard.
Yeah, Took a Walk again last night, late last night, about 9:45 in your backyard, is the most recent one we did.
Now, this has gone through a couple of titles. If you don't mind, to friends at home, Chris's films often have working titles.
Yeah, well, the working title was I Took a Walk in Your Backyard late last night about 9:45.
And you've changed it.
Yeah, we did. We changed it to...
So you just moved backyard to the end, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's where the backyard... I don't know,
We're talking to Chris Norton, who is an adult filmmaker. So one of the things, and the reason why we have Chris on is he's familiar with the making of the movie, or he's the familiar one who's familiar with making of the movies.
I'm familiar with making movies.
That's correct. Yes, Steve and I were here this last weekend. We had to redo a Saturday Cinema twice on account of the technical difficulties.
Yeah, I did. I heard the first one. I heard both of them, as a matter of fact.
What do you think happened?
Well, I think Mr. Hendrie and I were both working on it prior to the show.
Oh, you worked on it with Mr. Hendrie? Why's that? I thought...
Well, Mr. Hendrie knows about audio because of this being his show. And I simply said to him, it's possible that the audio is not loud enough. And he said, yeah, he looked at me and went, yeah, you know what? I didn't think, he kind of shook my hand and said, thank you for leading me out of the darkness on that. And I said, yeah, okay. And sure enough.
So the
Hold on. Slow down, Steve. Take a deep breath. Oh, another one. Oh, go ahead.
The level or the volume wasn't loud enough?
That's exactly right, Mr. Dooley. The volume on the movie was simply not loud enough. It had nothing to do with anything had to do with a microphone. It had nothing to do with anything had to do with nothing. So that was interesting, and I was very fortunate, and I'm very happy, and I'm very grateful that I was able to, and Mr. Hendrie was able to figure that out.
So, are we prepared when Steve and me go later tonight to do a re-recording of the Wild Women of Wongo, that it's going to be okay?
I'm pretty sure it will be okay. There's no question in my mind about it.
All right. Well, Chris, good luck. What other movies are you doing now?
Well, like I said, we've just completed. I took a walk in your backyard late last night, about 9:45. We did Breast of Breasts, East of Breast, West of what was it called? I got Shimmerman is here. Dovey, do you know what that's called?
Yeah, it's called Took a Walk. No, that's the other one.
No, what's the one?
Brexit?
Yeah.
Brexit breasts east of your breasts.
Okay, Breast of Breasts, East of your breasts.
And that's available now.
Yeah, you can mail order it from our website, and I'll give you that information soon. I don't know what our website's called or anything.
Are you making? I'm going to be very blunt and ask you this question: are you making money with your films? Yes or no?
Well,
Yes or no? Are you making money?
Are you making money with your films? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm not at liberty to say that time my investors and a lot of people who put out their hard-earned money expect a return, and I can assure them that as sure as God made green apple, I'm, going to do it.
So you do guarantee a return?
I mean, I can't guarantee a return, but
How many movies do you have right now?
what?
How many movies do you have out right now?
Like I said, we have Restaurant, Climb Restaurant. We have Breast of Breast, East of Breast, and then we're coming out with a sequel, Breast of Breast, West of Breast, East of Town. And
What is it? Brexit?
no, it's Breast of Breast, East of Breast, West of Town.
Brexit breasts, east of breasts, west of town.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Doesn't mean anything. It's just a title for a sequel. That's all. And then the other one we have, as I mentioned, Took a Walk in Your Backyard late last night, about 9:45.
Steve, Chris Norton. Steve, any other questions?
Yeah, just good luck to you. I hope we stay. I'll rent your next.
We'll rent your next movie, right?
Y'all.
There goes. What did you just say?
I just went y'all. Yeah, that was a word. Y'all.
Chris Norton, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, honey.
Oh, sorry. Chris Norton, ladies and gentlemen, and just some technical information, about everything that's going on. I'm Bobbie Dooley.
I'm Steve Dooley.
We're going to be right back.
The Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show, Bobbie Dooley and the Bobbie and Steve Show, is brought to you by the Western Estates Homeowners Association. And in conjunction with the Western Estates Homeowners Association and the Western Estates Swimming Team, we bring you the Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show.
I'm Bobbie Dooley. Western Estates is the perfect place to live. You can be considered for living there if you come over to our sales office and take a look at our models and let us take a look at you, and you can take a look at us, but mostly it's going to be us taking a look at you. And then let's go ahead and do a bank check, see if you have the money. If you have the money, but we do a once over and we're not quite sure we're right for each other, we'll say thank you very much. And we give you a beautiful red rose for the ladies, and the gentlemen get a candy bar or something, right, Steve?
Yeah, the gentleman, we give him a candy bar, a pack of cigarettes or something, and the ladies get a rose.
And that's if we tell you, thank you so much for looking at Western Estates, but you're not right for us.
Right. At Western Estates, we want to make sure you're right for us, and you want to make sure that we're right for you. But mostly, we want to make sure you're right for us.
The Western Estates Homeowners Association, taking applications now at 1515 Bongo Boulevard in Western Estates.
That's Bongo with a K.
What?
Hit it, Steve.
And now back to Bobbie and Steve Dooley.
Thanks a lot, Mort. And welcome, everyone, to the Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show. The Bobbie Dooley Show with Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show.
And we have, of course, coming up is going to be our Fall-tacular.
We had our Spring-tacular in July. A lot of people have so much fun at the Spring-tacular they want to do again.
I know everybody wants to do it again. We'd love to, but
we can't have that much fun. So I know a lot of you've got back to school time. I know our boys are back to school, and it doesn't seem like there's enough time, does there, Steve?
No, it doesn't. And that's why a lot of people say, well, let's do it again, man,
Let's do it again. Let's do the summer tacular again. Let's do our fall tacular. Well, we thought we'd bring, if we can't get ourselves to the summer tacular.
Let's bring the summer tacular to you.
And I thought what we would do is reenact every tacular, the fall, the winter, the summer, and the fall.
And the spring.
And the spring. I'm sorry, the spring, the fall.
The tacular.
No, Steve, it's...
The fall.
I'm sorry, the summer tacular, the fall, the spring, and the summer. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Chris Norton is still here.
It's the summer, spring, winter, and autumn.
That's it. Summer, spring, winter, and autumn. No, it isn't.
It's
The fall, winter,
spring and summer.
spring, and summer. That's it.
Yeah.
And so if we can't bring the fall or the summer tacular to you, we thought we'd bring it to you.
I mean, we can't bring ourselves to it.
Right, we can't bring ourselves to do it. So, whatever that means. Steve, hit it. And here's where I dance. Wee!
And Bobbie is now swinging around. Now she's doing this is called a fertility, where she just moves her bottom. This is, we have families.
All right, stop the bongo. Stop your bongos for just a thank you, Steve. Steve's absolutely right. We're a family community. So when I'm moving my bottom towards Steve's nose,
God.
Mr. Norton, this has got nothing to do with what you do, and I'm being very polite when I say what you do. I was going to say...
Oh, yeah, well...
It's fine. I know everybody thinks what I do is garbage, but...
Well, if the shoe fits, friend.
Hey, buddy, you asked me here. You asked me.
We ask you... the fertility dance of the fall, the spring, the summer, and the autumn and the winter tacular has to do with the fertility. More baby. We love children at Western States. So let's just, when I say that I'm pushing my bottom towards Steve's nose, I suppose what else could we say?
Well, you could say her hips are now undulating toward my face.
That's probably better.
Yeah. All right, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
All right. Now
Bobbie's moving. She's undulating her hips toward my face, to the face area. Now I'm leaning back as I continue to play the bongo. Hey, yeah.
do it, Steve. Yeah. Work out. Baby, work out.
Now, I'm going to lean my head all the way back, and Bobbie symbolically lowers her.
I'm symbolically lowering my hips toward the face, but not, stop. Steve, stop it.
Well, what's wrong? What happened, baby?
I don't know. The whole thing gives me the creeps. The fact that I'm having to describe it.
Well, I mean, it's not anything. It's nothing meant for the radio or for a podcast.
That's the problem I'm having with it. It's not meant for a podcast. It's meant for, not the radio. It's meant for TV.
Yeah, you should see it.
Yeah, that's right, folks. You ought to see it, believe.
Would you please, Mr. Norton? Thank you very much. Goodbye, Chris Norton.
Bye.
So,
Yeah, I'll give you an example. This is when we do the fertility dance. There's the female fertility dance and then the male, and I do chanting and.
This is where Steve brings out the tiki torch to poolside, and a lot of the kids are still in there swimming, so we have to get them out of there, because then Steve drops his,
I do. I take my bathing suit off, but the kids, we've pushed them, they run off.
The kids have run off. We've run them off, really.
And now comes the dance of the tiki god, which is me.
Yes, Tiki Man. That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now Steve this is where he would light the tiki torch. His bathing suit comes off.
Yeah.
And he's just going up to the different women going, yeah. Waving them forward to dance with him.
All right.
I think we probably, yeah. Good, Steve. Do it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm in Phil's studio.
Go ahead. Take your pants off. No, you better not. I just got the high sign. Who's that up there?
You better not. That's Robert.
All right, Robert.
All right. Hey, here's why I get down on it.
Get down on that thing. And here's where I begin my tiki goddess recitation. One day I was going out. I was walking nude outside. Then why are you slowing down?
Oh, I thought you were doing.
What are you doing? What's with the Chico?
Just trying to do a.
Anyway, you know what? You have to see it to believe it, and you've got to believe it to see it.
And you got to.
You've got to see it first.
And then believe it later.
I guess that's what you got to do. This is Steve. I'm Bobbie.
You're Bobbie.
I'm Bobbie Dooley, and I'm with my husband, Steve Dooley, and this is the Bobbie Dooley, Steve and Bobbie Dooley Show.
The Steve and Bobbie Dooley Show, brought to you by Effervescence. One sip, your mind is unclouded. Effervescence. When you're so depressed, you feel as if you're entering another world. Take one sip, your mind is unclouded, freed, and is escaping through the left ear. Effervescence. And by Motard Radio, 610 on your dial. Hi, everybody. Chip Bandier. And we bring you all the great, wonderful right-wing hits. Deutschland über alles. And, of course, the Horst Wessel song, Mornings at Motard.
610.
The Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show is back.
Check it out, everyone. This is the Western States High School Drum Corps.
And I want to thank Wad Winston. He's the teacher instructor of the.
I don't know if we had a record number of Hispanic students within the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, more and more and more and more.
And all of a sudden, we've got.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I mean, sure, that's racist.
That's true. I know it's embarrassing for a lot of people to hear such rhythms as these. These are very, very organic, sort of the lower chakra, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of very groin. It's groin centered.
It is. This is music that's very groin centered. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So you heard some of the things that are going to be done at our spring and summer and everything tacular with me and Steve, and with a lot of the people that you know about.
Yeah, and what do you mean about they know about?
Well, like our sons.
Oh yeah, Dylan, Seth, Justin, and Dylan. I always say Dylan, Seth, Justin, and Juanita.
Why? Because God, Steve had an affair with.
I did not. Jeez.
With an underage.
No, I always say Dylan, Seth, and Justin, and leave it at that.
All right, we have one more guest to come on here, and we're fortunate enough to have him because I know he's traveling this weekend.
Well, he's going to be going overseas to England just to go on a vacation, but we're very happy to have him with us, and that is Chef Carl Chidelia on the phone line.
Chef Chidelia, you have a great night. You're going to England. Why?
Well, I thought that I'd go to England, just to...
And the phone line is a little muffled.
Yeah. Jesus. I thought that I would go to England. I've got some friends over there who have a cottage. I do some trout fishing. I go to the countryside.
Oh, you go in the country, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, thank you for volunteering to be our chef of honor at the Fall Tacular for our opening evening dinner that we have with the couples.
Yes, it'd be my pleasure. And I have to, and I'm very happy to do that. I was your guest of honor last year. I wasn't a chef last year. I just was a guest. And
you were a guest of honor from Ted's of Beverly Hills.
Yes. And I felt that it would be necessary for me to take over as cooking if you're going to.
Well, you purchased a home here.
Jesus. No, can we stop the tape?
What's wrong?
You said you were not going to mention that.
Let's roll back on that.
And so you come and you visit friends here.
I do. I like to visit friends at Western Estates.
And again, thank you for joining us on the phone.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Chef Carl Chidelia.
Thank you very much.
Where do I mean,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You know,
What?
you're trying to tell me you think that people are going to...
Well, Mr. Hendrie said that the phone system is down, and we wanted it to sound...
yeah, a lot of the guests are on the phone.
You could have had me just sitting in a studio.
We wanted to do you on the telephone.
That doesn't sound like a telephone. It's just my hands were over my mouth. All right, but I think it's fine.
You think it works?
I think it works. Don't worry about it, Chef. All right, but I felt like the world's biggest ass.
Everybody, I'm on the phone.
Don't worry. Everyone will think you were on the phone, and then Mr. Hendrie will have the new phone. Mr. Hendrie fired...
Yeah, Mr. Hendrie fired the phone company, and well, that's his problem, not yours. And I don't think
Me going like that sounds like a phone at all.
trust us.
This is Bobbie and Steve Dooley, and we were going to recreate the sounds of the women of Wongo one more time, but we were told just moments ago that Mr. Hendrie does not want that. He doesn't want to hear it. And you know what? I think we should do it anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
So we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do the soundtrack. We're going to do the commentary, a new commentary, a whole new fresh one, but there won't be no video.
Yeah, there won't be no video. I mean, there won't be any video.
That's right. There won't be any video, but there will be a new commentary. So listen up. Coming up, the new commentary of Women of Wongo.
The new commentary.
Hi, it's Phil Hendrie, and apparently Bobbie and Steve's commentary, the new commentary, their third commentary on the Wild Women of Wongo, blew just as many sheep as the first two. And, of course, we still had this clipping problem because it was the film and its shit audio track that really caused the problem. I apologize for that, and we will return to our usual spectacular audio quality and technical quality overall this coming Saturday. Bobbie and Steve Dooley on the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show. Brought to you by Effervescence and by Chip Wiegand Real Estate and by
The Western Estates Homeowners Association. Come on by and visit us. Let's see if you make the grade.
the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show is executive produced by Phil Hendrie for Siempre Incorporated. All rights reserved on Podcast One. Stay tuned for Bobbie and Steve Dooley with yet another commentary on that cut.
Take it easy. You're the hired gun.
With yet another commentary on the movie.
Yeah.
The Bobbie and Steve Dooley Show is solely responsible for its content.
I just found out there's no commentary.
I know, we got gypped.
We got gypped.